David Baszucki is getting fired. From more than 300,000 people signing a petition for David Baszucki to get fired, to David Baszucki selling a large part of his share in Roblox. Today we'll get into everything and even more, but before we do that, my friend Ren told me we couldn't surpass him in subscribers. So let's prove him f***ing wrong and subscribe to the channel. Now before we're gonna talk about the biggest sign that David Baszucki is potentially gonna be fired from Roblox, which is of course him selling a large part of his Roblox share, I first want to talk about the petition that people have been signing because that is absolutely crazy. So a while back someone posted a petition that was literally called Remove David Baszucki. And the main goal of this entire petition was to get David Baszucki fired as CEO from Roblox. I don't know why, but I just find this hilarious. The petition itself reads: Roblox is supposed to be a safe and creative space for children, but under the leadership of CEO David Baszucki, that safety has been repeatedly compromised. Instead of prioritizing the protection of younger users, Roblox Corporation continues to allow harmful and exploitative behavior to thrive on its platform, with little accountability or transparency. Now yes, this is very serious stuff, but they blame David Baszucki for literally everything and they shit talk him for like 500 words straight. Now am I saying that they're wrong? Not necessarily, but genuinely, how much do people have to hate you for 310,000 people to sign a petition in which you have to give up your full name and your email just so they could sign this petition? Now before we're gonna talk about the biggest sign that David Baszucki is potentially gonna be fired from Roblox, I first want to talk a bit more about his reputation, because a petition like this doesn't come out of nowhere. Now I'm gonna be dead ass with y'all, I don't think I know any CEO with such a bad reputation as David Baszucki right now. Now frankly, to a certain degree I do understand why people dislike him as much. And no, I'm not talking about the horrendous Classic Phase update. No, I'm more so talking about stuff like this.
The scope of the problem here, what has led you to this point, and how do you think of the problem of predators on Roblox?
We think of it not necessarily just as a problem, but an opportunity as well.
An opportunity? Excuse me? Just going out on a limb here, but maybe if you have one of the biggest kids games in the entire world, and you are actively being accused of not doing enough against predators on that platform, maybe do not call those same predators an opportunity. And yes, I've heard he meant it different, but he didn't say it different. So yeah, with that all being said and shown, I fully understand why he has a shitty reputation. Now granted, he doesn't deserve everything that is currently being flung his way, but a bad reputation, yeah, I do think that is fitting. Now quickly, before we're gonna talk about the biggest signal that David Baszucki is potentially gonna be fired from Roblox, I first want to talk about a massive misconception about this entire David Baszucki situation. Because for some odd reason, people seem to think that he used to be popular, when frankly he has been unpopular and pretty hated for quite a while now. No, it didn't start with the bad phase update, although this does look horrendous. His reputation has been shitty for quite a while now. Now I could talk for another minute about his past controversies, but let's be honest, who really gives a f? So let's just get into the biggest potential signal that David Baszucki is gonna get fired from Roblox. Because I've been leading you on for the entire video about this thing, and now we're finally at the climax. That sounds a bit odd. Please do not climax during the video. What am I even saying? I'm fried. Holy shit. Anyways, David Baszucki potentially getting fired. We're getting back on track. So a while back, an article came out saying that David Baszucki sold a bunch of his shares in Roblox. As it says here, David Baszucki, president and CEO and a 10% owner, sold 270,000 shares at average price of $72, resulting in a total sale amount of 19 million. Post-sale Baszucki directly owns 811,000 shares and indirectly owns 806,000 shares. Now let's be honest, if the CEO of a company is selling all its shares in that company, or at least a massive amount of shares in that company, then there's probably something not going very well with either his CEO position or that company. Now it is true that Roblox isn't doing very well. I mean, you can look at this chart, this does not look good, but a lot of people also think that him selling this many shares could be a potential sign that David Baszucki is planning on quitting being the Roblox CEO. Now I'll probably make a lot of people sad by saying this, but I just found something that most likely means that David Baszucki is actually staying the CEO for another 2 years. David Baszucki is currently tied to a massive performance stock unit agreement that doesn't fully vest till 2028, making an immediate resignation extremely expensive for him. These fillings from March 2026 show that his performance-based compensation is locked behind long-term milestones, effectively incentivizing him to stay despite the 310,000 signatures petition. Essentially, the Roblox board of directors has created a golden handcuff scenario where David Baszucki only receives his 9-figure payout day if he remains in power for the next 2 years. Now I must say the source is a bit janky, but everything I found about it does seem to point in this direction. So I do not think David Baszucki will be fired from his position anytime soon. And that is basically this video. I kind of wanted to clear the air on it, but also get views, so I completely clickbaited the shit out of it. Anyways, let me know y'all's opinion in the comments. I'm tired. Bye.